Thank you so much for tuning in to Mom Jeans, trying to fit into motherhood. Okay, well, before we get started, how good are you at keeping secrets?
Good.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm pregnant. I'm over 7 weeks pregnant. I'll be 8 weeks pregnant in a couple of days. So, yeah. I've been keeping the
wanting
secret.
to ask, but I was like, I don't want to make her upset.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So I'm telling you this now because this will air so my family's going to be in and I'll be able to tell them. But nobody knows except people here that live here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. This was all en natural.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, well, I mean, we did a medicated cycle. Yes.
But
we did one more.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
So I was like, I'm not doing it. And I did one more and I said, this will be the last. So I really didn't expect to be pregnant. And then I was like, oh, wow, I'm really pregnant. Because it was like really pink when I peed on
really?
6. So yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
some ultrasounds Friday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. What time is it at?
Maybe 11. I'll have to actually check. I'm not sure.
I gotta schedule my text.
Friday.
I'm so excited.
I know. Me too. I'm hot now that I told you. So I've been really tired. That's why.
Oh.
But
I felt like I knew this was going to happen when you had to move and do the whole shenanigans. So do you already have a doctor where you're moving that you know of? Okay.
No. Well, and here's the thing. I'll have to find. Okay, so yeah, it's at 11. I'll see my doctor here before I leave on the 21st. So, and then I'll have to find a doctor, and I might see if I can get my old OB back when I went to college and lived at home. But then I'll be due in August, and we most likely will be looking for a house in June, and we don't know where or where Ryan's going to get a job. So,
oh my goodness,
we are not going to be settled when this baby comes.
Oh, summer baby.
I know. Yeah. So
mid-August. Am I allowed to ask if you have a prediction if it's going to be a boy or a girl?
I think I might have twins. I don't know. I'm feeling pains on both sides. Not pains, but
Mm-hmm.
And when I went in for the test, when they did an ultrasound, there was 2 big follicles. They're both 24 or whatever they measure it. I don't even know. So we'll see. I had a dream about a boy and a girl. But with Weston, they also said that, twins could be possible, and it was just Weston. And I had a dream about twin girls. So I just think because I know that I have a higher chance of having twins with doing a medicated cycle. Yeah. I don't know. We'll know in a few days.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. But I was hoping you wouldn't ask me because I wanted to tell you on the podcast. So you had a real reaction.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. How are we going to talk about anything else now?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Me too.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited. And then some days I literally, not that I don't forget that I'm pregnant, but it's I'm so busy taking care of Weston. It's
it's so different the second time.
Yeah.
So different. It goes by a lot faster, in my opinion, as well, because you're I don't have time to sit and think about everything. So, very exciting.
Yeah. So, I've been extremely tired. That's why my new Garmin watch I was talking about last week, that, it keeps telling me that I need to move. And it's you had a restful, good hour. Because, I'm literally napping when Weston naps. And I'm not getting anything done at the house, that I need to get done. And then some days I wake up full of energy. But I will say I've had some bad migraines. So, between Christmas and New Year's, I had, a migraine for, 4 days. And when it was at the worst point that I couldn't take it anymore, I'd take Tylenol because nothing else was working. I was doing the ice packs and like water and hydrates and like everything I could. And I would go to sleep and think it was going to get better, and I'd wake up and it was like worse. So if you have any tips on that,
did you have
that'd
those with Weston?
Yeah.
Oh,
but
did anything work for that?
No.
Did you get the migraine cap that Leah had?
Yeah, that thing's helpful. Ryan laughs every time I put it on my head.
I've heard it looks silly, but I've heard it's amazing.
Yeah, it feels good because it's like hits all the points I think on your head. That and like Ryan massaging. I think he's tired of me asking. If I feel it coming on, I'm like, you got a massage because it starts in my back and goes up my neck. But I've been taking magnesium. I haven't asked my doctor, but a lot of people took it.
No, they suggest it. Like I was suggested that all through my pregnancy.
So I started that, and I feel like I hadn't had a knock on wood, but I haven't had a bad headache for about a week now. So that's good.
That's awesome.
But, yeah.
So excited. Okay. Yeah. Let's jump back for a second. Welcome back to Mom Jeans podcast. We are your hosts.
Welcome.
Hello, welcome. I am Lisa, a girl mom of 2 girls. And Danielle is
Danielle. Oh, I'm Danielle. Boy mom, stay-at-home mom, military spouse, and now pregnant. Yeah.
Maybe girl mom, maybe twin mom, maybe boy mom times 2. Right. So many maybes. I'm so excited.
I know. Me too. I'm like, I'm so impatient. I can't wait for like Friday to get here just because like I need to know.
I know. I loved appointments. I was like so excited for appointments.
Yeah.
Yes. That's great. So. Well, that's kind of like a good segue into our topic for today, because we are going to talk about grandparents and, being close by and being far away. And are your parents and in-laws helpful? Are they, are you able to leave your kids with them? All that kind of stuff. And you're about to move, and have that transition of having neither sets of grandparents nearby to living with one of the sets of grandparents. So what's your expectation here? What are you thinking? Are you excited about having the help so much? Well,
yes, no, the help for sure, especially being pregnant now and like just getting like really tired. But I know by hopefully second trimester, it'll be better. I think the help definitely for sure will be great with Weston, and then for them to have all that FaceTime because, I don't know. I just remember my grandparents when I was younger, they were around a lot. So just kind of, it makes me happy to like how much Weston makes them happy. I don't know if that makes sense. Like the joy on their face and how excited they get to spend time with them. So I'm definitely excited about that. I think the hardest part is going to be there'll be 6 of us under, was it 6? Yeah. Under one roof. And it's just a 3-bedroom house. So we're definitely going to be close for at least 4 months. So I think that's the hardest part. But my mom works, my sister works and is like never home. And right now my dad is trying to decide whether he wants to go back part-time or like fully retire. And I told him, fully retire, we'll go fishing, we'll go and like do stuff and hang out. And so we'll see. But I don't know. Excited, nervous. Yeah. Yeah. It's a sleeping situation that has making me lose sleep now. So like my old bedroom is small. They have like big, nice furniture in there now. And also like, I don't want Weston to have to sleep in a pack and play for 4 months and to fit a crib in there. We would have to like take the bed frame down, and my parents they don't want to do that. But I'm like, they're like, you could sleep in the basement, but the basement terrified me as a child. Like our basement's nice and like fixed up. It's like a man cave down there.
Oh, cool.
But I don't know. You know how certain houses get wired weird, and you can like, I don't know. I watched a lot of Ghost Hunters, but like the way things are wired can make you feel like paranoid or like weird, or the basement just freaks me out. And I used to have dreams that ET was in the basement. So I can't
that's not fun.
Sleep down there.
I get it.
So I guess I can if it's too crowded.
It
'Cause,
might,
yeah.
it might be the way to conquer your fear, like just be forced into living with the ghosts and ET.
Yeah, he's always at the bottom of the stairs, and I still as an adult will run up my basement stairs. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know why. And I'm telling you, my basement's not creepy. It's like there's a TV down there, there's a fireplace, like
Oh
it's just like another room, like another like living
yeah.
room, and the laundry room's down there, and there's a bathroom and a bath, and there's something
Oh,
about it.
kind of sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Ryan can protect you.
right. Right. No. I had a nightmare the other night where I was screaming, like waking up. I was saying, no, no, no. And like he did wake me up, and he rolled right over, and he didn't even remember doing it. I'm like, well, thank you for waking me up.
When
He's like,
when I was a kid, my mom, anytime my dad would go out of town, which was very rare, very, very rare, my mom would get so paranoid. So I think I was in high school. We were both in high school. My brother and I were in high school, and my mom comes into my room and she's like, Lisa, there's somebody on the roof. I'm like, why would there be somebody on the roof, Mom? I heard it. And I was like, all right, well, let's go figure it out. Like, did you call the police? And she's like, I did, but they're not here yet. I was like, all right, let's go in Dan's room and make sure he's okay. So we go in the room, and I said to Dan, I was like, Dan, Mom thinks there's somebody on the roof. He hands us his hockey stick and rolls over and goes to sleep. And I was like, gee, thanks. Like,
good luck.
I get, like, the guys are like, I was thinking about that today. Like, isn't it amazing how different their brains are wired than ours? Like,
yeah.
man, that's funny. That I get that. I totally get that. That's so funny.
That is. Yeah. My mom actually told me a similar story about like when they had first moved in, she heard someone or thought she heard something in the basement. And so she told my dad, and he was like, there's nothing, like, and rolled over and kind of went back to sleep. So she was like, fine, I'll go check myself.
Oh
And
no.
went down, and then she went all the way downstairs, and there was like boots, I guess, at the bottom of the steps. It was before the basement was finished, and it was just concrete down there. And she screamed and went all the way back up the stairs because they're on the top floor. So it's like 2 floors and then the basement, like a half, like there's windows in the basement. And she started screaming, like, my dad jumped up. He's like, what? They're like, someone's in the house. There's boots. Like she's never seen before, and they were muddy. She's like, there's boots at the bottom of the stairs. He's like, who do you think comes in the house and then takes off their shoes to rob us? And she's like, I don't know. He's like, those are my boots. And she's like, I've never seen them before, but she was just freaking out. But he only jumped out when she ran up screaming, someone's in the house. Because there was boots downstairs.
Oh man, I would be freaked out. I get it.
But
oh my gosh,
it's so funny. Yeah, I don't know.
So you are totally good with your parents, like taking Weston for the day if you wanted to go out and do things, and you'd be awesome.
Yeah,
that's great
for sure. I would say my dad probably won't change any diapers, but my mom will. Like my mom's good with them, and
that's how my dad is too. Yeah, he wouldn't change any diapers. It's very interesting. Like, and I know your in-laws are far, but they do come, and you do get to see them, and that's really nice. I'm excited for them. They're going to be excited. When are you going to tell them about the pregnancy?
I guess probably either the 20th or the 21st. So. They probably won't listen to this, so they won't know.
Okay. All right.
But so when they get here, we'll figure it out. So my parents come the 18th. So the thing is I have to try to keep the secret, which my parents will be oblivious. It's my sister who will catch on pretty quick. Because like I have. This is bad, but like I won't be drinking, and it's bad that she'll know that I'm like not drinking, but I'm gonna like play it up as we're doing dry January. Ryan actually hasn't drank for about 3 months now, and so I'm just gonna be like, that was one of my like resolutions.
I love it.
We'll see if that works. But the other thing is she likes the ramen place here, and I usually get the spicy ramen, but it's not been like not sounding good to me. And so I'll have to avoid ordering sushi, because lately I've been doing California rolls with like like
Yep.
just sauce or whatever on it.
And, yeah.
Yeah. So that would be a giveaway. And then the other thing is like, I've not been in the mood for cheese, and I love cheese.
That happened to me.
But I don't want any cheese.
Yeah. That happened to me.
That's so weird. Yeah. And I got to watch how much I say I'm tired, because I'm tired all the time.
You need to tell them the minute they land.
I know. No, but so I want to wait for Ryan's parents. Yeah.
Oh, are they coming?
Yeah. So they'll be here on the 20th. So I have to hide it for 2 days.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh boy. Yeah. All right.
Because it's Ryan's having his retirement. And so we have a lot of people coming in, actually. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be fun. A dual celebration.
Yeah, that will.
That's really very cool.
Yeah, another thing. Actually, no, I'm not going to say. Because the door's cracked open. He might hear me. There's a surprise for him, too. But I'll tell you later.
Good. Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're gonna tell him. And I think I'm going to do it the way you said that you wouldn't do. You wouldn't put a big sister on. But I think I'm going to put a t-shirt. I'm going to put a t-shirt on him and just send him out and just see who notices first. And it's a cute shirt.
I did it.
Okay.
I did the same thing. What? Yeah. Did you find one?
Yeah, it's like Big Brother, under construction, and it's like completion date August 2025.
Oh, that's cute.
But he loves trucks, so it's a little dump truck. But,
that's really cute. Yeah, ours was, it said, "Oh, for Fox's sakes, I'm going to be a big sister."
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah. So, and then I'm just going to send him out and see what happens. I'm going to try to record it. Listen, I tried to record Ryan's reaction when I told him, and I literally flipped the camera somehow, and it's like looking into the laundry detergent. I got nothing except our voices. I'm like, man, me and technology. So I'm going to figure out a way. I'm going to act like I'm taking a picture of all of us or something and record.
I love it.
And then here's the thing. Hopefully Michaela doesn't listen to this before I call her, but I'm going to call because she's not coming, and I feel like she feels, I don't want her to feel left out, but she's got a work thing that she has to go to. So I'm thinking I'm going to call her and tell her before I tell everyone else. So she feels like,
oh, she'll love that.
Yeah. So then everyone will know.
That's so cool.
Yeah. But I will say, like, I've been nervous every like cramp I feel. I'm like, am I just like a normal cramp? Like,
it's the torture. It's torture.
Yeah.
I had a big clot come out when I was pregnant with Hannah, and I was sure that I miscarried, and I called the doctor, and they're like, "Okay, well, just gonna have to wait for your appointment." And I was like 3 weeks away from my appointment. I was so devastated, because then it's like, ugh. And then it was fine. I was totally fine. I convinced myself that I had twins, and then I just lost one of the twins. And that's okay. I have 2 amazing kids, and I'm very excited that this is the way my family shaped out to be. So, yeah. So jumping back in. So I have my in-laws in Michigan, so far from Arizona, but we see them probably every quarter. So 4 times a year, I would say. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bit less, 2 to 3 times. Yeah. And they're awesome. They're super helpful. And like my father-in-law just adores the girls, and he is so, so good with them. I love it. His parents died really young. So then his kids didn't have their grandparents on that side, which was really hard for him, I think. And so he's vowed to be like that amazing grandparent, because he doesn't want them to miss out on that. So it's awesome. And when we, the biggest challenge I have, and they know it, and we've talked about it, is like feeding them foods that I don't love and giving them screen time, which I really don't love. And it's a challenge, because I think about it in the sense of like, when I'm not there, because we go on a trip or something and they watch them, there's not really much I can do about it. Right. And just have to try to get back on course once they're gone, once they're, back in Michigan. And I've started to try to let it go more and more, because it's like, you know what, like you said, it's, you don't want to turn them the opposite way, where they're like craving these foods that we never let them have, and then they go crazy when they get them. Mm-hmm. I don't want that to happen for sure, but I also don't like, I need moderation at least, and so I think that's a challenge, and we've had a lot of tough discussions about it, and they've had those conversations with me of like, you guys had that growing up. What's the problem? And I'm like, well, there's a lot of science backing a lot of that stuff. And of course, I've been reading a bunch of things lately that I was talking about how sugar intake is really an attributing factor to a lot of cancers. And it's like, man, that's kind of like, why would you give that to somebody if you knew that there was a greater chance? Like pretty much everybody out there has been affected by cancer somehow. And like, you just think about, like, if I could prevent that, like I said in a previous episode, if I could prevent and you could tell me what it was that would stop them from having anxiety and depression, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with sugar. Like, if I can prevent that from happening, I'm definitely going to try. And I do think it's okay to have it, here and there, but having it constantly is just not something I am interested in. So that is something I've had a discussion with my in-laws, and they're like, I don't understand why you won't let them have Diet Pepsi. It's diet. And I'm like,
aspartame.
Yeah, I know. But they don't, it's not sugar. It's not sugar. I'm like,
exactly. Then what is it?
What is it? What is it? Yeah.
Right.
It's that's a battle, right? It's a battle. And then to swing on the other side, my parents are a 2-hour drive away. And we do on occasion call my mom and say, hey, will you come up and babysit the girls in a month? My mom's social calendar is very busy, but she'll come up, and it's hard because my dad doesn't love coming up here because, first of all, he has to sleep on the couch, which, our house is small. That stinks. It's not fun to sleep on the couch. And he, it's high elevation. So his breathing really struggles up here. So then she comes up and she's trying to put both girls down. And luckily Aubrey goes down easy, but we try to kind of limit how much we use her. But at the same time, it's like, she loves, like you said, she loves being around them, and it makes her so happy to be around them. But it's like, we also have to be kind of like selective, because my mom, my mom is awesome with them. It's just, she's limited in certain physical aspects of things, and that's okay. We appreciate the help, but my mom is on the opposite spectrum of like, she's afraid that I won't let my kids see her if she doesn't obey by my rules. So she is like beyond strict, and then she yells at my dad if he gives them like something that's like out of line. And I'm like, man, it's like, I see both sides of the coin then, you see that side where it's like, oh, Mom, I really appreciate that, but like, you can totally like treat them every once in a while. It's okay. Like, I will let you see them. It's really okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I can see that. I feel like my in-laws, they might not understand, but they haven't really said anything. They'll like just go with the flow, and they'll ask me before. They will tease like, oh, don't worry, he'll have ice cream, but I don't think they really would. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like they do normally ask. Even when they're like, oh, I have fruit, but it's not organic, kind of thing. And so at least they let me know. And
that is nice.
I don't know. I just feel like my parents really hadn't had the opportunity, maybe because when we were at home, he was still kind of eating just more mushy food, like when we like went to visit. And then when I saw him in July, we were staying in a hotel, like at a retirement, so it's not like we were at home for them to give them food. But I think that's where we might have a struggle, because I don't know. I feel like my mom does say things on how I feed him. Like, oh, you're giving him a sweet potato cake for his first birthday. And like, she's very skeptical. And then when she tried it, she's like, this is actually really good. It kind of tastes like a pumpkin cookie that she usually makes with like the cream cheese icing. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, I'm not gonna, he doesn't know if there's sugar in there or not. And there is sugar. It's in the maple syrup. Like, it's naturally occurring, but I don't know. So I think that's where we'll have a struggle.
That's a great point too. Like, my mother-in-law was like, before I came, was like, send me a list of the foods you want me to buy. And I'm like, it's okay. We'll go to the store when we get there, because I don't want that whole, like, you're going to make me buy all organic fruit. And so Brandon went to the store while he was in Michigan, and their organic section is teeny tiny. And I was like, he came home with blueberries and raspberries that weren't organic. And I was like furious with him. And he's like, are you serious right now? Like, I was like, well, I was just listening to a thing that said organic blueberry or non-organic blueberries are almost worse than like candy because of the pesticides on them. And he's like, we can't do anything anymore. Like, we can't have any fun anymore. And I was like, have I swung too far? Right? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Like, I was reading a thing about crunchy moms recently, and I was like, oh, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
That just described me to a T, with a couple of exceptions, but it was like, yeah, man, I am very lucky that I can afford that stuff. And if I can give my kids the better stuff, like, listen, I tried to get Brandon to agree to let me grow blueberries in our house because our weather is not conducive to growing blueberries. But he's like, we're not growing our own blueberries in the house. I'm like, but
yeah,
we'd save so much money on organic stuff.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so tough. Yeah, and I worry about that too. Like, my parents live, it is a small town. It's really a small town. It's not like Flagstaff, small town.
Yeah.
It's tiny. Like, the Walmart is the biggest store there.
Yeah.
And so I'll be, and there's a place called Food Lion and a Kroger's. So I think I probably could find more organic stuff at a Kroger's maybe.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, so I'll just have to like go and check out the stores and see what, and I'll be like, Mom, look, I'll fix some snacks and like food. Like, you can I'll buy it, like give them some of that stuff. But it's like certain things. I think what frustrates me a little is, so I went to school and I took a lot of, when I went to college, like exercise and nutrition classes, and like, I'm a health and like wellness and like, teacher and like PE teacher and all the things. So like, I know stuff, I've studied stuff, and like also like even outside of school, continuing to research foods and all of that. And it's just like, she's like, well, this is healthy. It only has like this many carbs. And I'm like, no, let's read the ingredients. Like, I don't know. Like the Starbucks egg bites, she buys them from Costco. And yes, they're good. I've had them, like, but there's all this extra stuff in it. And I can literally make this egg bite myself, and it's going to taste just as good without all the extra additives. She's like, but it's healthy. It's just an egg bite. I'm like, yeah, but I'm just going to make my own, like, kind of thing. So I think she gets frustrated.
That is the hardest thing to explain to them.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Like, I have the Yucca, whatever it's app.
Mm-hmm.
And I've started to train Hannah because I was listening to Dr. Amen. Is that his name? Yeah, I was listening to him, and he trained his daughter young, like, is it good for your brain? Is it bad for your brain? Yeah. And so I've kind of flipped that on the, is it good for your tummy? Is it bad for your tummy? Because I was reading another thing that was like, don't say foods are bad. Don't say foods are good. Like, so I was like, okay, good for your tummy, bad for your tummy. It's okay to have bad for your tummy food sometimes, but then we might not feel very good. And so her favorite thing right now is to go to Sam's Club and get samples. And if I go to Sam's Club without her, she gets so mad because she thinks I'm eating all the samples without her. And so she went up to the stand and there were protein bars. And I was like, all right, listen, I'm going to scan this. And if it's green, you can have this, like, because they have green, orange, and red. Yeah. And if it's orange or red, we can't have it because it's not good for our tummy. And I scanned it and I showed her, and she was like, "Aw." I was like, I want to teach her. Yeah. Like, you are knowledgeable. You know that stuff. Like, I want to teach her what's going to help you and, be better for you and fill you up. Like, she was snacking like crazy in Michigan because she was eating a lot of stuff that just doesn't give you any nutritional value. And it's like, yeah, you're eating and eating and eating because you don't feel full and you don't feel good. So it's tough. Yeah.
I think that's why I gotta be better at it. Like, I feel like I'll let Weston, if he wants a snack, I give him a snack. And then like, he doesn't eat very good at like dinner. Yeah. But I'm not like giving him bad things, but it's like, how many coconut crisps is too much in one day. I don't know. But he eats like apples. He loves fruit, but I know that has a lot of sugar in it. And he's eating a lot of fruit, but
Oh,
it also has fiber and all the things in
we
it.
eat so much
So,
fruit, and I was hearing somebody dogging on fruit the other day, and I was like, I never even thought about that being a
yeah.
problem. It was a dentist, and she was like, oh, my kids have tons of fruit, and I know that I teach them about brushing their teeth because of the fruit, but the fiber is worth it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so worth it. And she was actually talking about eating crunchy snacks like at the end of a meal, because it's kind of like dogs with treats, like it scrapes their teeth. And I was like, oh, never even thought about that.
Yeah, that's cool. I will say I follow this it's like a fitness influencer, but he's like straightforward, like very blunt, and he was like, he cusses a lot, so I'll spare you that, but he's just like, how many people do you know have gotten like fat off of like fruit or gained weight, just eating just fruit, and he's like, effing nobody. And like, he's very like blunt, but he like calls out other people in the industry that are saying like, oh, don't eat bananas, don't eat too many fruit, don't eat this, because I don't know, just eat salad. And he was like, no. So he's pretty funny. I wish I remembered his name, but yeah. But I will say mom will be like, oh, bananas have a lot of sugar in it. I'm like, but they have fiber and they have all this other good like nutritional like value in it. I don't know.
That has been my toughest battle with both sets of grandparents is the food. And I think it's actually like, it's crushed my mom, who's been eating protein bars for 2 meals a day for
15
Atkins years.
Bars?
Oh yeah. And I would scan them for her, and she was like devastated when I scanned them, and they were like red. Oh, she was so devastated, like how much I've changed her perspective on things. And she's like, man, that makes me really sad. But also like she takes note to it and tries to improve herself on that, which is great. I mean, certain things she will not let go. Brown sugar, she will not let it go, which is fine. So that's, if you have a vice or you have something, then go for it. But try your best to do better in certain situations.
Yeah. We talk about food a lot. Like, I feel like on this show, just, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, because I'm like, I feel like newer to this, like eating better. There was a time that I thought I ate pretty good when I started taking my nutrition classes, like, oh, I'm eating whole wheat and I'm eating this stuff. And then, as you get older and now with the internet, I don't know, you like learn more and more. And it's like, oh man, even those like slight changes, I did feel a difference. But like now, like making these other bigger changes, I do like feel better mentally and all the things. And you feel like you're actually fueling your body. Like food's great, but sometimes there are days it's like, man, I don't feel like cooking. So
I told my in-laws, I think being a parent is so hard because so much is out of my control, and food is something I feel I can control. I can control what food I feed them. And so I think for me, I've always had a control issue, but that is something I feel I can make a difference in their lives.
Yeah.
And so that's important to me.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, nice. So going back to grandparents, I was thinking as we were talking about like the relationship with my grandparents. And I live close to both of them. So one was maybe 15, 20 minutes away, and the other one was about a little like 45 minutes to an hour. And looking back, I will say I had my closest relationship, like even though that we were close, let me back up. Like someone had told me that it's, quality over quantity, like how you spend time with your grandkids or your kids. Well, your grandkids versus like how often. So we, right now we do live like 2,000 miles away from my parents, and like several more thousand because my in-laws live in Hawaii. But like when they are together, like I see how they're spending time with Weston, and like and making those connections. And as he gets older and can remember, he's going to remember like how he feels, with them, and if that makes sense.
Totally.
Now, I live close to both of my grandparents, and I will say, I only have a grandmother living still, but her and her husband, my granddad, don't feel like I had a super close relationship with them. My granddad was very, very strict, and my grandma is more like quiet. He was kind of more controlling, definitely narcissist, but that's a story for another time. But so it's just like there was tension. I felt like when we would go visit, like you had to make sure your shoes were off. Like you had to make sure, like I literally remember asking grandma to put cheese in my eggs, and my granddad's like, "You don't like your grandmother's eggs the way she cooks them?" And I
Oh.
just asked for cheese. I was like, I just want them like mom does it, and it made him really mad.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, I don't feel like I have a close relationship, with my grandma, and it's probably because she's older and I live far away. But there was a time they kind of like cut themselves out of our life for a bit,
Oh,
and
no.
then when my granddad got sick, then that's when they came back. Well, my mom tried to make the best amends that she could between her and her dad, and so there was tension there, even though we saw them all the time. I will say my granny, I felt like I had a closer relationship with her. And she also, there was my poppy. He died before her, but he didn't talk a whole lot. I do remember that. I don't remember what his voice sounds like. Just kind of quiet dude. Wasn't super involved, I'd say. He's probably disgruntled because he was an alcoholic. I never knew him as that. But because his kids literally said, if you want to see your grandkids, you'll stop drinking. And so he did. But I think that just kind of made him more just quiet and reserved. And I do feel like I get that quietness that comes from him. My dad's also, he can talk a lot, but he can also like just sit and be quiet and not say a whole lot. So I really do get that from them. But my granny, she was like my main caregiver, especially my sister. So I feel like her and my sister got that secure attachment that they talk about in those younger years, because I had different babysitters. She was
Mm-hmm.
working full time. When she went part time, we were there every day in the summer, or if we're out of school, because my parents both worked, and so I feel like I had
That's
the
awesome.
closest relationship with her. But unfortunately, she got Alzheimer's, and so when I got older, to be able to like ask her questions, and like it was too late, to like
Yeah.
learn more about her. So unfortunately, I didn't have like I had my granny until I think she died. I was a freshman in college. So, but she had Alzheimer's for several like years. I think when I was in high school and stuff. So it was tough, like not having like close relationship with like my grandparents. But I will say like seeing my parents and how much like they love Weston, and they like really try to make that time with him, no matter like how far away we are. That makes me happy. So hopefully like he'll always remember that. So
that's an interesting point of view too, is like thinking about my relationship with my grandparents, because we had one set of grandparents that lived 15 minutes away, and then the other set was in Florida, so far, plane ride away.
yeah.
And my grandparents that were in Florida, my grandpa died when I was 6. I don't remember him at all. Like I remember him, I don't remember him, which is really sad to think about. And I had that moment, I don't know if I said this, but I had that moment recently, like if I were to pass away at this point, like with how much my kids cling to me, it's crazy, but they would never remember me. Like that makes me so sad to think about. But like my grandma, his wife, she became very curmudgeonly as she got older. And like I was the only grandkid that really connected with her, because for some reason I was blessed with the people pleaser gene, and I just did whatever she wanted. And it's funny to think about, because I wonder, like, I don't remember a lot, but like I remember flying down to Florida with my other cousin, and we were young. I think it was like 8 or 10, and we flew by ourselves without parents. It was the best. It was so cool. But I remember my grandma always ate peanut M&Ms and would drink her coffee and like don't talk to her until she had her coffee. Like we knew, but I loved it because I would always add the sugar tabs to her coffee, and it was like a little Pez dispenser thing to like do it, and we would fight over who got to do it. But I think about that and like playing cards with her a lot, and that's what I remember. But she was so far away that like my relationship was so, like I would call her on the phone when I got older and she'd be like, stop asking me what I'm doing. Like I literally do nothing. And I was like, okay, well that was nice. Like I was just calling to be nice, but I don't have to call you. Like, listen. But then my other set of grandparents lived close by and they were always there, right? Like they would come to sporting events of ours, and like I can like it, I'm like relating it to the food thing, but I can remember my grandma would always have half a Yoplait yogurt and I would get to have the other half. And it was a special treat if we got the whips ones, because I loved the whips. And they were like air, right? And they were like no substance to them at all and had so much sugar in them. But yeah, but I remember just like her always being there for me and how great my relationship was with her. And I see my mom, that was her mom, my mom being like that to the girls. And she just wants to make that special connection with them, do special things for them. And I love that. Like, I love that they're close by. And that is hard for me, like Brandon's parents being so far, because they do have a great relationship and we FaceTime them all the time. So it's not like we are lucky we have FaceTime at this day and age to keep that relationship going. But it is really nice to have people close by and have that relationship where they're in person.
Yeah. And that might influence where we live after this, for sure. I do feel like we'll be ready to move out, but like maybe not too far. Because I just think about that, and it's just like I don't know if this is a true statistic, but I heard it on Instagram saying like grandparents live longer if they have like good relationship with their grandkids, like get to be a part of their life.
Yeah, I believe it.
And Ryan's parents are like fully retired and they have points for flying, and sometimes they get free flights, and when they do come see us, they'll stay for a while, at least 2 weeks. And so I'm lucky that they do like make the trip, to see us. And so my parents it's like sometimes pulling teeth trying to get them to like plan to come see us. They will. It's just, they like to talk about their finances a little. And I'm like, guys, just figure it out. Like, I don't need to know everything. Yeah. But you be here if you can. If not, like, it's cool. It's fine. But don't be mad at us if we don't come home for certain things like Christmas or, because we get it. Like, living on one income, it's hard to travel. But I mean, we save up. When we do our taxes, that money goes into account for our travel for the year. So
nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
parents and grandparents are challenging. Yeah. They also get a great deal because they can send the kids back to us. Right. And they could spoil them and do all the things that they wanted to do with us, but they knew they wanted to raise good humans.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It is nice to see how happy the grandparents get, though. I do love that.
For sure. Like we're lucky to have, very involved parents, grandparents to our kids. Because I know families that don't ever like see their parents or, kids don't get to see their grandparents or know them, or they're just too busy to even care, I guess. I don't know, Yeah. So it's sad. Yep. So I'd say we're pretty lucky, but yeah. So I guess we should stop nitpicking is what my mom would say.
It's hard. Yeah. It's really hard because it's like I walk home or I walk home. I come home and I'm like, I'm the one who has to deal with the repercussions of what you guys did. So it's hard, but I also want them to have a great relationship with their grandparents. So I have to kind of let some of my strictness go.
Yeah, I feel that too. Just certain things I've been trying to like bite my tongue and like think about it. Like, I don't know. Sometimes it's easier than getting in an argument.
Yep.
But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's mostly, I moved out when I was 19. I moved out as soon as I could. I'll just say that.
Yep.
So it's interesting moving back. Like,
I'm excited to see how this goes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good. My mom's like, this is gonna be a fun experiment. I think she said, or so. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be an experiment for sure. But
Oh my goodness.
I know. But she loves Ryan. Like if
that's good.
literally if I say something to Ryan, she's like, Danielle. She's like, let him do that. Let him. And I'm like, Mom, fine. Then you let Dad is what I want to say, because she's always like getting on him sometimes. And so, yeah, it'll definitely, dynamic will be interesting.
Yes. You just play the pregnancy card.
Yeah.
Because you're pregnant.
I know.
I'm so excited.
I think my sister's she's going to be very excited, but she did tell me, I was crying after pregnancy, after so postpartum. And I was like, I'm so sorry. It's my hormones. And she was like, you're way nicer than you were when you were pregnant. I'm like, oh, now you tell me. Thanks.
Aww.
Yes. So I got to try to keep that at bay too. Yeah, I feel like I've been pretty good. There are some days that I feel like I'm mad at everybody. Like,
oh yeah,
what is wrong with me?
I'm like that a lot.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Mm-hmm. The fun part is that I'm excited to be pregnant during the summer, so I don't have to buy maternity clothes. I can just wear running shorts and a big t-shirt. It's gonna be great.
Yes, I love it.
Or if my belly's hanging out a little bit, who cares? It's summer.
Who cares? It's summer.
Yeah, and then I'll be able to recover getting closer to the holidays, maybe. Yeah. So,
yay.
It'll be perfect. So I don't know. But
exciting.
It's going to be, it's humid there. So I'm going to be sweating my butt off.
You are going to be sweating. Worth it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm excited. And I'll keep you updated on the way.
Please do.
Next week, I'll let you know if I have 1 or 2.
Okay.
Hopefully not 3.
Oh,
That's where I draw the line. 2.
I draw the line. Yes. No triplets.
What could you imagine? I can't.
No. I cannot imagine. It's crazy. All right.
4 under 3.
Ah.
I probably shouldn't put that in the universe. Not that anything could change now, but
I would stay at your parents' house if that happens.
Yeah, we're just
moving in full time.
Yeah, we should actually just fix the basement into an apartment and we'll stay in there.
Yes. So. You can have a shaman or somebody come over and exercise your
with some sage and
get them out of your house.
Yeah. I don't even know what's down there that makes me, I don't know why. We'll sit down there and watch TV and I feel like someone's watching me. It's probably because there are windows down there. So it's like a half, I don't know what you call that. It's halfway out. Mm-hmm. And there's a door, you can exit the basement. There's a basement door and everything. It's just creepy down there. And Ryan one time found a big spider like this big. And how big would you say that for people who aren't watching? It's literally this big.
That's like a baseball.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was a baseball spider down there. It was so bad. And it was in the mudroom area, so it wasn't in the living room part, but it was on top of a bag that we needed to get. And Ryan found a snow glove and grabbed it. That thing crunched. So I don't want to sleep in the basement. There's big spiders. I don't know what it is about the East Coast, but there's some big and ugly bugs there.
Yuck.
Yeah. So. Cool. But I am excited because I do love the East Coast for the food. There's no food here in Great Falls, Montana.
Yay.
A bunch of barbecue and buffalo.
Yeah, I'm going to have to make sure to send us some videos of your food there.
Oh, yeah.
We can become restaurant bloggers.
Right. That's true. I mean, the food's not that great there. It's just they at least have good Mexican food. Yeah. So they don't have any Mexican food here at all.
Oh my goodness.
Except Taco Bell and Taco John.
Uh-huh.
Qdoba and Chipotle.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah. It's great. But cool.
All right. We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah. Let us know how your relationship is with your parents or your kids' grandparents and how they contribute to your guys' life. We'd definitely be interested to hear different perspectives for sure. Yeah, Thank you for listening, and tune in next week.
Yes. Bye.
Bye. And that wraps up another episode of Mom Jeans, trying to fit into motherhood. Thank you again so much for listening to us. And if you enjoyed this podcast, please consider giving us 5 stars so other mothers out there like you can find us and listen. If you would like, you could follow us on any of our socials at Mom Jeans the podcast. If you have questions, would like to send us your birth story, or give us suggestions or things that you would like to hear, please email us at hello@momjeansthepodcast.com. See you next week.